Episode 65?
I have not a clue,
Getting
mate.
closer
Sorry.
to the brilliant 69.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Did we say we were going to do one purely sexually themed?
Yes. We'll start getting questions in for that one at like 2 episodes prior. We'll just
Yeah.
have a list long stuff.
Yeah.
Funny and serious.
Yeah, I think that's I'm not shy about talking about it, and
Nah.
neither are you, so.
Nah.
We've got to make the most
We've
of
done
being.
some stuff and seen some things.
Yeah, got to make the most of being on number 69, right?
Yeah,
So,
true. But
whatever we are
today's
now.
episode is not, unfortunately, is not as lighthearted as that.
Yeah.
And we thought we needed to discuss it because, well, it's just becoming a little bit common, and that is the fact we've lost another big name from the bodybuilding world over the last week. Was this week? Or was it a bit longer?
Yeah,
No,
it
it's
was
just
literally a couple of days ago for us. Cedric McMillan.
Yeah, 44 years old. And it doesn't seem like, at the moment, many of these guys are making it out of their 50s. And we thought it'd be prudent to discuss possibly why this is happening and why it's important to understand why it's happening.
Yeah, it's I spotted a video about it, and it was literally comparing the kind of the hardcore bodybuilding life to being completely sedentary and like obese. And
Yeah, it's
when
not
you
much
think
different.
about it, being sedentary and obese, normally still people make it into their 60s.
Yeah.
And bodybuilders are dying in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, quite
Yeah.
commonly now.
The shocking one is there's been a lot of female deaths
Mm-hmm.
in the last, I think it was the last 6 months. There's been 4 or 5 female deaths.
Yeah.
And some have gone, and what he says when you look at them is death, by all of the ones I've seen, it says death, reason for death, unknown. And I'm telling you now, it's diuretics.
Yeah.
That's what's doing it, and they're stroking out in this. They're all going in their sleep. Hearts are just stopping. I think they're having strokes in their sleep or something.
Jesus, mate. It's scary. It really is. Like, I know there was I don't even know how long ago we had the Boston Lloyd kind of, it wasn't really the theme of the podcast, but we spoke about it, and obviously
Yeah.
we talk about it with Imran, and even like some like big names like John Meadows, who's someone I followed John Meadows' YouTube channel
very
for
intelligent guy.
ages, and he was somebody who was very health conscious. He did have an underlying problem which he was aware of, and John Meadows actually lived longer than his parents, or I think it was his dad, who
dad
had the
definitely went
same
early.
heart condition, wasn't a bodybuilder, didn't take drugs, and died like 7 years younger
Yeah.
than.
Do you remember what it was? Was it another aortic issue?
I don't know the
It
exact.
tends to be the one, doesn't it? Because that's a quick killer. Because if there's anything wrong with the aorta itself, what happens is it can thicken, kind of, which then it's basically hardens, and then it bursts under pressure.
Yeah.
You basically bleed out internally, and that's why the survival rate from it is like super, super low. Unless you're having that attack by a hospital, you're pretty much not making it. And that's what happened to Boston Lloyd, and that's a congenital.
Congenital.
It's right, isn't it?
word.
Yeah, it's passed down from genetically through the family. So it's this is the thing. So we don't know whether Cedric has had it in the family, but what we do know is last year we know he had COVID. He nearly went from COVID because of breathing issues, but he pulled out of the Olympia this year early on. And it was rumored to be for health issues. Yeah. So
I think he spoke about it. I'm pretty sure I saw an interview where he was talking about that.
About pulling out.
Yeah, and he said he felt really, really bad. He started losing weight. He couldn't keep any food down him. He was having to slam shakes all the time because he couldn't eat.
Well, that's not going to help your gut, is it?
No, and even he kind of like, again in hindsight, it's pretty sad. But he almost made a bit of a joke about how, like, he started to regain the weight against the doctor's advice, and and he said that this is not like. He said you've got to almost forgive him because this is like people that are bodybuilders and they're into this. They're not normal. No. And like he kind of talked about it almost as it was a bit of an addiction, but it was at the time it was taken with like a little bit of banter.
If you think it's not only what started off as their hobby, then their addiction, often their escape, then it becomes their job,
income,
then their career, then it's what supports their family. It's everything.
Yeah, it becomes their identity,
and it's all encompassing. So there's no way you're going to tell these guys to just suddenly back off, because then they're going to go, well, what else am I going to do?
No. Well, yeah, a lot of them, especially it's the guys that tend to hold that size for a longer period of time. Because Cedric, being a competitive bodybuilder and actually being competitive at 44, fucking not many people are still going at that point at,
You had
at that
Dexter up
level.
there, didn't you, doing pretty well?
Yeah.
But again, you saw Dexter, as soon as he quit, what did he do?
Yeah.
You saw him drop like 30 or 40 pounds within months
Yeah.
fast, because he's very aware of the stress on the heart. But this is the thing that, and I think the reason we want to talk about it today, we don't want to dwell too much on the fact we've lost Cedric. It's a very sad thing by all accounts, and I never met him, but I know people who were very close to him, and they've all said the same thing. Beautiful human being, always laughing and joking, always making people feel at ease, always making people feel welcome. He just seemed to be a genuinely nice human being, which makes it even worse because we're losing guys who could have been an inspiration to the future generations coming up, but aren't going to be able to teach their lessons because they're literally gone from this earth. So we're going to have to learn from the fact. But the thing that scared me, and the reason we're doing this, is you sent a message to me, and it said, we were talking how Cedric had gone, and I said, I think we need to talk about it on the podcast. And you sent one back saying, yeah, it's scary because I sent one to you saying there's so many we've lost this year already, that or the last 6 months, that we need to talk about. And you sent one back saying it's scary because the damage has already been done. And I didn't look at it from that angle. Like, holy shit, how many of these guys are basically ticking time bombs?
Yeah.
And the importance of it is, if you're now, in your early 20s, your teens, or, coming into your late 20s, early 30s, if you've been dosing steroids, you've not been looking at your bloods, you've not been checking your heart, you've not been checking your cholesterol, and you've just been trooping on thinking, well, I feel okay now. These guys are proof that it's not the now, it's the future. These things affect your future, and this is why you've got to be so proactive in making sure that you are checking your bloods, getting your ECGs done, and you're not even that, just getting tested regularly for cholesterol levels.
I think anyone, because obviously I'm about to start testosterone at some point. Not obviously anything like what a pro would be using, a very small TRT doses. But even that still theoretically could cause some cardiac remodeling over 10, 20 years.
Especially if you are prone to a degenerative heart disease of some kind. And that is the thing. If it's in your family, don't fucking ignore it.
Yeah, I think anyone who's actually serious about being a bodybuilder and they know that to do that, they're going to have to take a good amount of drugs, it should be absolutely mandatory that they get their heart scanned.
Well, this is it. I was going to say to you, do you think it should be the priority of the Olympia or these companies running these federations that people are competing in? I think it needs to be made mandatory that that athletes are blood tested prior to competition.
I think blood tests are, I don't know whether they're mandatory, but I know that a lot of the smaller federations are starting to partner up with different companies to make the blood testing
more feasible.
Yeah, more feasible and more pronounced. So kind of they're, at least from the outside, saying, look, we do care about their health a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got more to tell you about this, but I can't talk about it on the podcast.
Well, I know that we know of people in the industry who've had heart attacks that have not said they've had heart attacks.
Yeah.
And they're well-known faces. You probably wouldn't be shocked to find out they have.
Yeah.
And that's not just from bodybuilding world. They're talking about strongman world and other fitness,
general
other fitness, just within the fitness realm.
I do think that we almost need to draw a line that like professional bodybuilding, and again some of these they can't be in the same category as fitness because it's not fitness anymore.
No.
When pro bodybuilders are dying before people that have never exercised in their life, that are morbidly obese and smash McDonald's and fucking get pissed every night, and they're outliving them.
Yeah,
just how is this fitness anymore? It's so far beyond it.
And as well, I think this is the thing that people need to understand is that lifting weights is all well and good. The resistance training is great. It does create a physical change. You can see it. It feels good. It can be addictive, but you are not training your heart and lungs on a cardiovascular level. You're not pushing, even if you're supersetting, drop setting, moving, it's not checking your cardio system in like it needs to be. No. You need to be doing some steady state, consistent cardio work. You have to be moving through functional range of movement that the body's designed to do and getting that heart rate up and increasing lung capacity and actually exercising.
Yeah, doing something for an extended period of time. Even a brisk walk, something that if you can feel that your heart rate's elevated and you can get out for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, if you could do that, it's not fucking hard.
2-3 times a week.
Yeah, that alone is something that's going to actually help with your
Or
cardiovascular
ideally,
health.
get out for like 20 minutes a day, and as you get fitter, just in that 20 minutes, cover further distances.
Yeah, try and pick the pace up.
Yeah.
A proper brisk walk. You might look a bit of an idiot, but go for it.
Just get some headphones on, put on a mini CREWCast.
Yeah.
Mini cast, get out, and by the time it's finished, you're home, you've done, you can feel a bit better about it, and then slowly start pushing things. And it is just so important to, not only for your heart and lungs, but also for your mobility, to keep your joints moving. Because this bodybuilding or this really stringent powerlifting is so one-dimensional. So, and it's honestly, it's like, you see those people that run every single day doing the same route all the time, and they only ever seem to get in worse shape.
Yeah.
And by the time you've seen them for like a year down the line, their run is this weird, stunted little partial movement.
Yeah.
You see them kind of flipping along.
It becomes extremely efficient, which then just means your body's not working as hard.
That's exactly what weightlifting does. Your body catches up to the ability to lift weights really quickly, but because it's so short and explosive, it's not pushing that cardio system. No matter how tired you feel, that's muscular fatigue. That's not cardio fatigue. Yeah. And added benefit, if you get more cardiovascularly fit, you're actually going to perform better in the gym, and you're actually going to get more from your weightlifting. Yeah. So, and as a prime example, so since popping my bicep off and getting back, I haven't really done much boxing because I was told, be careful. So, and because I struggle to pull punches when I'm doing it, I just backed off it completely. And I went back in yesterday to start filming some boxing stuff. So I'm just going to start doing some things with some of the boxing coaches and get back the fight series up and stuff like that. I went on the pads with AJ, and I'm not kidding you, it was spanned over probably an hour and a bit, because we were having to repeat sequences for the videoing and stuff like that. But I was also getting warm in between and doing some pad work, to the point where I was, sweating profusely and had to take breaks. So I was like shaking my arms out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it should have been light work, and I was gassed. Like, I need to sit down just doing this like choreographed pad work. Mm-hmm. And I used to do, not long ago, we're talking 12 weeks ago, I was doing 8 rounds before doing my weightlifting. Yeah. So it just shows you how in 12 weeks, how quickly the system stops functioning at that higher level. And I mean, I was doing 8, like I was doing, what was I doing? I was doing 5 3-minute rounds, hard-paced, or 8 2-minute rounds, hard-paced. Yeah. And that's including kicking, kneeing, elbowing, heavy bag work, speed bag work, the whole thing. So I was, cycling around the bags, doing different things, pushing. And now I struggle to do some simple fucking combo work.
Do you think, obviously, part of it was that your fitness has dropped? Do you think your breathing wasn't as good as well? Because like timing with your breathing, that's massive when you're...
I was tight, I was clenched up, I was holding my breath when I shouldn't have been. And this is all what cardio is going to feel like when you first start. But as you get fitter, it gets more enjoyable and it actually gets easier. So don't be put off by those first 4 weeks of shit, because there's a point where you get that second wind in you that comes through, and you just start bouncing, and it starts to feel really good. It's almost as addictive as the weightlifting can be, especially once you get fit. It's just getting that first bit out of the way. Yeah. So it's important. But this thing, man, 44 years old, gone. We've had other guys going in their early 50s, some people down in their 20s. 30, like,
Boston was 29.
And we had Boston go, and there's a Boston degenerative heart disease. His father had the same thing. Same with Mountain Dog, degenerative heart disease. Yeah. We don't know about Cedric, whether it was in the family or what was going on, but we know he had heart issues last year, definitely. Yeah. And who else did we lose? So Boston, Cedric. Flex Roden. No, Sean Roden.
Yeah.
Was he Flexatron?
Sean Roden was, I don't know.
No, that was Wheeler, wasn't it? Yeah, so and we lost Roden again, heart. And then who was the big boy who lost in his 20s? He ended not Travis, is it? Damn it. Big, lovable dude. Anyway, everyone seemed to speak really highly of him. You can Google it, I can't because my phone's doing the camera. But he died because he choked on some food, but the reason that he choked on the food is because they think he suffered, I think it was a stroke. And again, when we were talking about it before, saying that there's some obese people who've never been in the gym before are outliving these guys, it's because these guys, they are taking, obviously, their pharmaceutical substances, which are increasing the size of their heart, which are also increasing blood pressure, which can in turn then harden the arteries and cause issues.
I've just found here, there's a website, evolutionofbodybuilding.net, and one of their pages is the death archives. And
we shouldn't,
So these are some of the ones that are actually like pros. But the thing that's scary is the fact that there's so many that aren't
Can you
even
find
pro.
that guy's name?
Yeah, I'm searching for it.
The problem with it, so one of the problems with them is with it as well, which is why I wanted to particularly find that guy so you guys can Google him, is these boys are pushing some size now.
Dallas
McCarver, that was it. He was an absolute unit, but he's still pushing 300 odd pounds of weight around every day, and his heart's still having to pump blood around 300 pounds of even more blood around the body because he's actually got muscle. Rather than somebody who's obese at 300 pounds with a smaller muscle mass.
That's not like
there's not so much
active. There's not anything going on with it.
So with the bodybuilder with 300 pounds, the heart's actually worse off.
Yeah.
Because 300 pounds is still 300 pounds, but people see it differently because it looks better. They think it's got to be healthier, but it's absolutely not. It's just as much, if not more, of a strain on the system holding that much muscle and weight.
Yeah. When you layer in the drugs as well, because obviously your heart is a muscle as well, and as all these anabolics are designed to help you strengthen and build muscles,
muscle mass,
your heart literally hypertrophies. And
the scary thing when we talked about Imran, he was saying you can measure the thickness of the heart walls.
Yeah.
With that, is it the ECGs that do that or something?
I'm not sure which
Either
one
way,
it is.
they can measure it. And
echocardiograph,
he's watched a lot of guys' heart will increase. And I think it's if you get to 38 mil or something, there's a certain specific millimeter that if you reach that, you're a goner.
Yeah.
And he says you can literally watch these guys tick like a time bomb because every time they come in, it thickens X amount, and they can actually judge by the amount it's thickening over each year when they're going to die if they don't do something about it. And this is the problem because there was one guy came in and he said if he doesn't do something about this in the next 3 years, he'll be dead. Now, 3 years is not a long time, especially if you're in that sport where you're doing 1-2 big competitions a year. That's 6 competitions between you and death. They're not, and if you're not getting checked in that time,
and the thing is, it is reversible to a certain extent. Some of the things, like as other muscles can atrophy, the heart can atrophy as well. So that exaggerated size of the walls will go back a little bit. You're not going to go. Yeah, you're not going to go back to how you were as a kid. But like,
and this leads me back to that sentence you sent to me. The damage has already been done now because these guys started pushing more mass, more size, more shredded whilst holding more mass. Now,
probably was more drugs that were allowed them to do that.
Of course. And now, so are we going to see some of these bigger boys, like in the next couple of years, dropping as well? You've got people like Rolly Winkler. Jesus, he's literally like a mountain of muscle. They're just huge. And you've got a lot of these Iranian guys in the 202s. They're just absolutely stacked. And it's just a real, I've never looked at it from that angle before, but how many of these guys are just now, as the damage is too far done?
Yeah, because like, it's not what's, all the bodybuilders that have died, it wasn't something that's just happened as of late. Like, this is the accumulation of damage that has gone on for like 5-10 years, and there's so many other people that have been doing the exact same things.
Exactly.
And like you said, that even with a small time frame, they might back off a little bit. They might, if they're proactive, and I'm trying to remember who it is. He's friends with Juji Mufu, big bodybuilder, Antoine Vinet.
Go on, I can't say it.
Antoine, I know he.
But we also had Hyphy Mud Dude.
Cali Muscle,
Muscle. Yeah. He's had like 2 heart attacks in the last like year or so. He had to walk around with literally a heart monitor on himself.
Yeah.
And he was back in hospital after coming out and then saying, I'm on all this, I've had a heart attack and all that. Almost making light of it.
He was fucking natural for ages, wasn't he? That like Cali Muscle claiming natural was the fucking most retarded thing I've ever seen. He was.
But this is the problem as well. Because you've got people like that betraying this potential, and some people will have honestly believed that.
Yeah.
With because of the prison background and all the crazy, hyphy mud and this, stuff that other people just don't do, aren't willing to do.
Yeah.
My point of this conversation is one, it's super sad to see Cedric go. It seemed like he was a beautiful human being, and it was untimely. And 2, if you are considering using pharmaceuticals, if you are using pharmaceuticals right now, this is a big fucking wake up. Don't be a ticking time bomb. Please go and get checked. Hit up Inram, transformnow.co.uk. Let him know that we've sent you, and he will sort you out. He has helped so many of you guys already.
You can do heart scans there.
They can do everything. And I tell you now, for the sake of what, a couple £100?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere between £200 and £300 for that.
But
I'm thinking about getting one.
The blood test and everything, though, isn't it? He does. He'll do wrap-up deals for people.
Yeah, I was going to say.
If you come through us, let us know you came from the CREWCast. He'll sort you out.
Yeah, because obviously I'm about to start next month some testosterone, and because of this, and I know it sounds silly, and I'm being super cautious, but I was like, maybe I should get an ECG done.
Worth it.
Just because then I've got a baseline idea of what my heart looks like right now with no drugs, no PEDs ever in my system.
Got a baseline.
And then I could look, in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, even at very low doses, has there been any cardiac remodeling over that time? And then
it'd be interesting to see if there has been, just because you push some heavy weights.
Yeah,
that's a lot of high blood pressure work and a lot of short static work.
Exactly,
as well.
like there's that kind of athletic heart, and the people, like people's hearts change depending on what sports they do.
That'd be cool if you get it done. We'll be able to bring it up on here.
Yeah, so I am thinking about doing that.
I'm going to go over next week and get that drip thing done, and also get my my TRT stuff all sorted and set with him.
What day are you going? Because I
just working out the dates because it's getting super busy back into this month.
Yeah, same.
So he just said after the bank holidays we'll try and squeeze in a day, like maybe Thursday.
Okay.
I'll get in contact with him and let him know after this.
I'm
going to go down and film getting a drip done there.
Yeah.
To bolster, because when I had my bloods done, I was lowering a few things. So obviously, you're getting a TRT done. I went in with the bloods as well to get my baseline ready for doing the TRTs and everything. And so then I need to go in and get this drip thing done so that everything's bolstered. And then, all will be.
That's when we'll get massive.
We'll be getting massive. So now, obviously, I'm healed now. I can actually start. I actually did my first proper week's training this week, as in I loaded up the weights on back movements.
As of normal. Yeah.
As of pulling full stacks on stuff.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I just listened. I just replayed what we said in our head, and we were joking about getting massive.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. We've obviously just talked about the health ramifications of this.
No, we were joking about that.
A pro has to do, the amount of drugs that a pro has to do to get to that kind of size. Don't get me wrong, some probably don't take as much as you'd think because they've just got freaky genetics. Some of them do push stupid amounts of gear.
Oh, silly. Yeah.
And what me and Lex are talking about is things that are going to keep us in that reference range, or even for me, I actually want to be just a tad over the reference range.
Basically, we're within either really close to or within natural limits, and the fact we're saying get massive is a joke because we won't.
Yeah. I'm expecting to have
composition will definitely get way better.
Something will change
but only with active training and diet and calorie control and everything, which is where. So I'm at that stage now. I need to get all that in line, and then we'll see what really.
Well, with what I'm wanting to do, I think at some point we should just do a dedicated video just talking about what the plan is.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say what I'm planning on doing because I'll save that. But I've had so many people that are bodybuilders that take gear, or even not professional bodybuilders, people that bodybuild, say, "Oh, you're not going to get fucking anything out of that."
I disagree.
But then other people are like, "Oh yeah," because for me, the most performance enhancing thing I've ever taken is creatine.
Yeah.
So and I
you didn't even end up taking that testosterone.
Yeah.
You didn't even use it.
Exactly.
After paying all those taxes.
Yeah, I will still take that at some point. So I'm gonna add that in.
How long does it last?
As in
it's a shelf life because
isn't
it some weird squidgy black stuff.
No. That's you're thinking of Shilajit. Shilajit.
Sure sounds like something from the Moon Knight.
You said when Imran said it, you said it was something out of Indiana Jones because he pronounces it.
Oh yeah.
Shilajit.
No, that's it. Shilajit. Yeah, imagine Shilajit. Yeah. Like pulling your heart out. Shilajit.
Yeah. But
you got a memory, Christ.
I do. To be fair, I actually watched that all the way back. You do know we probably don't listen to all of the podcasts back. I listen to some of them and I'll skip through them to try and find.
If I don't remember what we've spoken about, I'll listen to it in the car when I'm traveling somewhere.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget
it's us talking.
I know. Sometimes some people message me about something that happened, and I was like, I have not a fucking clue what you're talking about right now.
And hopefully we're going to get another one of those because today, in light of losing Cedric, we thought it's only right that we pour one for the homie. Yeah. So we'll open the CREWCast in a more solemn tone today. Yeah. No, we're not going to do a ding-a-ding. We're just going to open it up. But we're going to celebrate a little bit of Cedric with a 12-year-old rum called El Dorado.
Yeah.
So we just thought, we want to get back into the routine of obviously trying some new stuff so that you guys can carry back on because I know a lot of you were following with us and filling up your drinks cabinets with the ones that you like the sound of. So we're back with it. We also, again, because it's a special one, cheers to Cedric, we're going to light a cigar.
Yep.
And
we got a Davidoff Nicaragua Robusto.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a fat boy.
Yeah.
So, it's a sad time, and we're going to...
It really is like that.
Just, it was... I don't know why, but when it popped up, it was like 11 o'clock at night when I saw it. And I think Imran put it up quite early. He found, because he finds out about these things quick. So he put it up about 11 o'clock, and I was like, no way. You know when you double check it? Like, am I reading this right? Am I checking this right? Yeah. And it just like seemed too soon. Pop test.
Sounds good. Yeah, if I'm honest, like, I almost felt like after the last one that we did, it was like...
Surely that's it.
Yeah, that's it for a bit. But then it's just because it's been one, like literally
it seems
every
like
month,
every month there's been one.
There's like, and this is just big names as well, because there's so many.
And I want to
that
point
are
out
small names
again, females. We have lost females, at least 5 or 6 that I know of, unknown causes. It says, and each time, I'd say 90% of the time, it says next to it they were in prep, and we know that these girls are starved into prep. And they are put on pharmaceuticals, and a lot of them are in tone of increasing metabolism in inverted commas, and anything that's like ramping up blood pressure and metabolic effects. What else? You're often messing with thyroid, as well as taking in fewer calories. So the body's burning at a higher rate, getting fed less, and it's just this clusterfuck of high blood pressure, low food. Probably diuretics involved if they're close to a show, which then causes them to stroke out or have these issues. And talking about small body weight as well, these ladies have, there's much smaller weight.
It's just fucking scary, mate. It really is.
It's sad. It's really sad, and it's just not fucking worth it. That's the end score. It's not worth it.
No, and I think the thing is as well, like, I'm pretty sure that this can be done in a manner that is safer.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
that's what I mean. Because if you're checked and you're tested, something flags up, you fucking stop.
Yeah.
And you pull out that competition and you go and deal with your health.
Well, it's like if you're a mixed martial artist and you're if you're in the UFC, the doctor has to check you over beforehand. If there's something wrong with you, if they pick up on something, they pull you from that fight because you're not fit.
Surely the federations are going to have to be held accountable for this at some point, where they have a doctor come in and check things. Like they say part of your entrance is to get a blood test, like it's mandatory.
Yeah.
And then they have a doctor that they pay for to ensure those blood tests that they see are okay.
Yeah, it's almost like something. They need to do bloods, they need to do heart scans.
Got to be something.
Like, and even some of the genetic testing as well. I think that should be something. I don't necessarily think that's something...
That can't be mandatory, though.
That can't be mandatory, but I do feel like you should do that. If you're thinking about getting into it, like, you should probably have a look into if there's any kind of weird polymorphisms in your genome that might mean that you're just gonna react pretty badly, and what you could estimate. Oh yeah, look at these bodybuilders; they're doing all right. They're surviving until their 40s, but I'm not gonna be doing this when I'm 40. I'll knock it on the head at 30.
That's not the point.
But you might be someone like Boston Lloyd, and you might have died at 29. Dallas
doesn't
McCarver,
matter.
he was 29 as well. I think.
Doesn't matter if you stop at 40 if your damage was done in the 20s.
Yeah,
and it's not checked and it's not dealt with.
There's that idea of people burying their head in the sand as well. That's what.
100%.
So many people.
Well, bodybuilding's a low income sport.
Yeah.
Well, competition.
But just in general, like some people that I've spoken to, because I've talked about getting my genetics tested, getting my bloods tested as a natural, and people are just like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" It's like, it just freaked me out if I saw something.
I was scared when I got the blood test. Waiting for the results to come through.
I was nervous as well.
Genuinely nervous. I was like, what if they find something? And I'm from a healthy family. Like, my granddad lived to 99. There's been. We've had one case of lung cancer in the family, but that was possibly from smoking during the war and just a delayed issue from smoking for a few years. But we know it can happen. That would have caused maybe some mutations that just sat dormant for a while.
Yeah.
And even then, that was my great aunt Tess. She was still in her 70s when it happened. So well past what a lot of people just make it to anyway.
Yeah.
And even then, I was just honestly just like, well, God, what if? Because I know so many people at the moment who are dealing with things that are just popping up out of nowhere. And the problem is because they're popping up out of nowhere and they've got no clue about their genetic history, they've got no clue about their family history. When they go to the doctors are basically, one, sometimes useless, as we discussed in some of the previous podcasts, and how to deal with that. So make sure you go back and check Not Taking No for an Answer for a podcast that we did that deals with having difficult doctors or people not really paying you the right attention and how to get around that. But even if they are good, they're starting from a zero, like you're going in with zero information for them. So it's like, and they're never going to look for the big thing. They're always going to look for the simple thing to get you back out the door. So to go in with this information and this basically going in armed with information is always going to help you stop things happening quickly and also get people being more proactive around you in the long term. Yeah. So even if you're not lifting or anything, just getting these tests done is just for your own wealth of knowledge. It's worth doing. Yeah. Even if it's just that everything's okay. You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
peace of mind.
It really is. Like the idea of burying your head in the sand. Like I can't understand it.
Well, I can understand it. I've done it with some stuff. I do it with something like, if I have some bullshit to do with like when someone nicked all my identity.
Yeah.
I just like, oh fuck's sake! I just wanted to turn away from it and be like, oh, because I literally had to do everything.
No, I get that.
Nobody gave a shit.
I think there's a difference between procrastination and burying your head in the sand with an obvious health thing, because this is your fucking life. Like, none of the other shit matters. Like, people can steal all the fucking identities, they can have them all, but if you're dead, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, that is literally the bottom line. Because Stone Cold's dead, so.
Because Stone Cold's dead, Stone.
Because Stone's dead.
We haven't even started drinking
God
it,
damn
mate.
it.
Let's cover this because I've just had a sniff of this and it smells like sherry. So this is a 12-year, this is Eldorado aged 12 years, finest Demerara. I think that's how you say it. Demerara. And then it says Ron Rum Rum.
I think they're different.
Is that a do ron run rum? You do rum rum. I think it says rum in 3 different languages. I think
that's what it is. Yeah.
And this is all from the back. So we've got the Demerara region has established a reputation over the last 300 years for producing the best rums in the world. This rum has been laid down in oak barrels for at least 12 years, producing a rich and diverse spirit. The profile is round, mellow, and full-bodied with rich flavors of fruit and spice. And it's the fruit that I can smell. I think it was remind me of sherry. It reminds me literally of Christmas cake.
Yeah.
Can you smell that?
There is some sweetness
like
to
marzipan and cherries.
I want to get on this before it dilutes too much.
Yes.
Because there's already a bit of water in there.
That's a good call. It's a beautiful looking. Now I said when you brought this out, this
the
couldn't
most
look more like a rum bottle if it tried.
That is if a child. Well, not that children should
drew,
know what rum bottles look like, but if a child knew what rum bottles look like, they would draw this bottle.
It almost has like a wax seal type stamp logo on the front of it, which is debossed into the bottle itself. An old school label, but just the shape of the bottle, if you're looking on Spotify or YouTube, it screams rum. Yeah. So we're back in our custom CREWCast glasses. So cheers, Cedric, for all the years, and for supposedly such he was a beautiful human being, lost too early. Ooh. Well, that is nice. It's smooth.
Yeah, it's very smooth.
Oh, there's the heat now. Only just now. So what was that? Like a 3 or 4 second delay?
Yeah, I'm just getting it.
Nice heat.
I'm wondering if it's because it's quite diluted though, because some of that ice has gone.
Well, you get a second pour in a minute. You can judge it off that.
Yeah. That's nice.
That is a nice. You definitely get the rum kick. Now, I'm not a fan of kind of the white rums.
Yeah.
And so when I get a white rum kick from it, it's too much for me. Whereas this is evenly balanced with the fruit and the rum, and then there's that little bit of spice at the end, but it's by no means a spiced rum.
No, it's not. That is a traditional rum, but
traditional rum flavour.
That's really nice. Eldorado.
Very, very smooth.
I got it because, the cartoon Road to Eldorado.
No, you said this. I don't know what it is.
We're going to watch it later. It's a great cartoon. And there is another film called Eldorado as well. Also, it's a good film. But that's purely why I got it, not going to lie.
I like that. It's good. Get the cigars going, mate.
We've got
I haven't had one of these for a long time. I've been on the cigarellos again.
Yeah.
Enjoying a few of those, just sitting on my own, just like, toot, toot, toot. Although they go a bit too quick.
Yeah, that's
because
what
I
I
pull
thought.
on them like it's a big one.
Yeah, if I thought it was about time we did crack out one of the
You
one
only
of
have
the
to
big
before
ones.
they all dry out anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
the good old Davidoffs.
that's a clean cut. Quite proud of that one. You got... Oh, damn it. I was about to say we hadn't made a mess, and then I went to pick it up, and it messed. I made it a mess. Have you, this week... Oh, here's something I just thought is to lighten the mood, or not. As it may be. Bit of toilet chat. Do you ever... I don't know if I should say this. Fuck it. Do you ever sit on the toilet so long you forget what you did?
I have done
I
that.
did it today.
I have done that.
Because I treat myself to a sit-down wee
Yeah.
quite often.
Why not?
Because I'll sit down, I'll like open my emails, I'll go through some bits. So I'll usually be working on the laptop, and then I'll pick up the phone to go to the toilet and think, well, I'll either, if I'm ordering something, I'll carry it on my phone. If I'm answering something, I'll carry it on my phone.
Yeah.
It means like I'm multitasking whilst on the toilet. And yeah, I was on there and I was reading through. I was reading on something, and you know when you just get like my bum got numb.
Yeah.
It'd been on that long. I was just like, and I can't remember what I was reading about now, but it obviously kept me engaged. And then I went to get up and I went, did you do was it one? Did you do two? I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to get up and look.
Move your bollock cut
Yeah,
alone.
I tried that. I couldn't do it because your thighs are at the top are too tight. So I actually had to stand up like a 4-year-old who's just done really well on the potty.
Yeah.
And just
Turned around,
looked around and went,
Scratch your head.
yeah, had a look at it. I was like, yeah, got a wipe.
I have done that. It's been a while, but I have done that
I was
before.
just like, how often do I do this? Like, I haven't done this in a long time. Forgetting what you actually did. I was like, I've been on here far too long. Do you need to keep lighting it again?
Yeah, I've done it a bit lopsided, right?
Just toast the edge. Just keep it a little bit of a distance. Don't go too close.
Just
taper it in.
lopsided.
There you go. It will burn itself evenly eventually. There you go. Did you pull the flame in, or did you just toast it from one edge? I think you toasted it on an
from one
edge.
edge, yeah. I got eager. Got keen.
Yeah.
We've also got some news.
Yeah.
We got some people will be very happy because people have been pestering us for a while about the CREWCast event
Oh yeah.
that we are looking to do. We've put together with a few people that we spoke to. We've basically nailed it down to 2 dates, and we're gonna leave the final call for you guys.
Well, to an extent. Oops, sorry, bashing the mic. Because it has to still work with the other people who want to pull in.
Yeah, we're pretty sure that there's enough notice.
Yes. Yeah.
But should I say the dates, or do you want to put it in a?
Or do you want to recap what it's going to be first?
Okay, so it'll be effectively the CREWCast being held in a live environment or with an audience, which would be you guys if you want to come. Well, there'll be a real limited amount of tickets. We haven't figured out the exact number because we want to keep it pretty
snug.
Yeah, pretty snug, pretty intimate.
Yeah. We want it to be very involving.
Yes, yeah. I want to make it like, I don't know. I just feel like if there was too many people, it's going to lose the.
But I think there needs to be a certain amount to have that buzz.
Yeah, I think somewhere around the 20 mark.
20 was what was jumping into my head.
Yeah, somewhere
Enough
around
so people
that.
don't feel too focused on, and this can still blend into a group if they need to.
Yeah.
But enough to just create enough of a camaraderie and ease for people.
Yeah, so we're going to host it at my gym, Black Country Barbell, for multiple reasons. Just because it's very hard for us to find somewhere that's going to be accommodating for that many people, that's going to have seating, that's going to be quiet enough for us to actually record live without banging a noise, that's going to allow drinking, that's going to have somewhere where we can actually smoke. There's multiple factors, and we were like, we were trying to find places. There's plenty of places we could have events
Basically,
for.
insurance wouldn't cover it for most places.
Yeah. And whereas we can get a temporary alcohol license. We do it whenever we have a party.
So you literally will have a bar there.
Yeah, so we can set up everything that we need, and I'm in complete control of it because it's my business. So I can just get everything in place. Whereas, trying to get other people to do this is kind of hard work. And the main thing is we were able to find them, but then we're like, but they're going to be too noisy. There's going to be other stuff going on there. It's not it's not like dedicated to us. We're going to be sharing it with like certain bars that have like function rooms, but then there's going to be so much background noise, it'll be impossible to record anything, which then would have meant that even though we did it live for the 20 people or so that were there, no one else gets to see that, which I feel like then you kind of lose part of that.
I feel like this is going crazy. Look how smoky that is.
Mine was like that when it first started.
Was it?
Yeah. We've not had one of these before, I don't think.
Which one is this? The Davidoff. Hang on, I can tell you.
It's the Nicaragua Robusto.
Nicaragua Robusto. It's really nice. It's almost too easy to pull on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I pulled so deep because I felt like there was no... I
so
was like, there can't be that little resistance, but there really is. Like, it's so easy.
Where is the dates that I said?
It was July, wasn't it? I feel like it was 27th. It was the 23rd or 30th, something like that.
Where the fuck?
We message each other too much. Our message stream on phones, it goes from serious to ridiculous back to serious all the time. He'd be like, followed with like, yeah, we'll get this dating for this, we've got this plan, we've got this plan. And the next one would be like a gif of a kangaroo punching a cat.
So I think it was the 23rd.
I was right.
And the 23rd and 30th.
That's what I said.
I wasn't listening.
My brain has a purpose.
Yeah.
Get in. Of July.
Of July.
Yes.
So those are the 2 days.
So that is a Friday, is it?
They're Saturdays.
Saturdays.
Yeah, so the gym closes early. We're also going to be including like a day pass basically at Black Country Barbell, so you can come and train with us. We'll be there beforehand. Then the gym will close, and then after hours. Yeah. And we'll get everything ready. Get the CREWCast recorded there. You'll be able to ask us questions. We're also going to have some of our most popular kind of guests that we've had on come back.
Yeah, they're going to be there as well.
You get to meet them. You get to ask some questions. I want it, be interactive.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering whether we could live stream it or whether we're better off recording it and putting it on as normal. I think we should just do a live stream one as a separate thing.
Yeah. Run it live and then do a recorded version as well, I guess.
Yeah. So it is coming. If anyone has preferences on the dates, put them in the comments. If you're on YouTube, you can put a poll up on Spotify and Apple.
On this episode, there will be a poll at the bottom. Scroll to the bottom. Also, we've been putting questions up on the Spotify. Like literally, you go onto the episode, you'll see if you just scroll down a little bit, straight away it'll say question and poll. I don't know how to get to the answers of the questions. I typed testing on mine, and all it shows me is my own reply to myself. It's because Spotify doesn't recognize me as being the owner of the... It's really weird. Spotify doesn't recognize you as being the owner of the podcast, even though we are on Spotify. So I have to go through Anchor, but I can't see the Spotify questions on Anchor. But maybe I can, and I just haven't found it. So I'll go and have a look after this to find out. But there will definitely be a poll, regardless.
Yeah, if we get the poll up, that's the main thing. So that's really nice that we've got some dates in mind. Whether we've had a few people that said they'd like everything, including accommodation, a few people that just kind of wanted to come down and sort it themselves. Because the main thing for us is
we want you guys to relax and have a drink.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there's a few hotels in the immediate area around the gym, so you can just sort that yourself, and then at least I suppose it gives you freedom. If you want to stay somewhere a bit cheaper, you can find somewhere a bit cheaper. If you want to stay somewhere a bit more expensive, to be fair, I don't think there's any luxury hotels there, but there's a Premier Inn, which is nice. Yeah. You know what you're getting with a Premier Inn. It's pretty bog standard.
Tesco car park.
Yeah. Sleep in the back of your car, whatever you want to do.
Get your phone on, stick it on Netflix, have a nap.
Yeah. So I think that's probably the way we're going to lean, and we'll just maybe... So then that means we can reduce the ticket price a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then if you want to, we can point you in the right direction of a couple of nicer hotels.
And we can see if we can get some kind of offer or deal for you.
I don't think Premier Inn would do anything because they're Premier Inn, but maybe some of the smaller hotels we might be able to work something.
We can ask. We can only be told no.
Exactly. So that's really nice that we've actually been able to pin down some dates. And I'm even though nothing has actually happened yet.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't die.
You didn't die on the
My skydive did not happen.
Yeah.
There was bad light. And it's like cricket. I assume it's like cricket because I couldn't see anything wrong with the day, but they're like, we can't jump today. I think it was either cloud cover or wind speed that was issue. Although I don't know if 23 kilometers an hour is fast wind speed. Maybe it was quicker up in the 10,000 feet range, whatever it is you jump from. We're going from the big range, I think.
I would imagine, whatever it is down here.
Amplified upwards.
Yeah, probably considerably higher.
It's rescheduled for the end of the month, which is cool because it just gives me more time to enjoy things spread out, because I'd already just done the monster truck. YouTube video of that is out. And now I've gone and done something else, but I'm not going to announce that yet.
Oh, is that what you told me about?
I told you about it. Yeah.
But I'm gutted that you've missed the thing now.
What thing?
The thing that we booked, and then you've double booked yourself.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know, but I can't be helped.
No.
Yes, we were supposed to be going to see Tool.
Yeah.
For a concert, and then I've been booked to go out to Portugal for a content thing, but I'm out there for like a week, and it just so happens I'm back a day after we're supposed to go to Tool.
Yeah.
So anybody wants a Tool ticket, there's one going.
Yeah. To be fair,
just
I think I
message
found
Lou.
somebody at the gym.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, I think one of the guys.
How much was it? About 75 or something like
I think
that.
it was 75 quid.
Yeah.
Something around that.
So if you are interested in that, let me know if Lou hasn't sold it already. Might already be there. Might still be there.
Yeah. Slither in the DMs.
But I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather be out in the Algarve, jumping off rocks, and
Yeah.
enjoying the sun. I couldn't turn it down.
Yeah. I'm just going to be sat there sweating.
Yeah.
Listening to
You're guaranteed, and I
prog metal.
you're going to be next to probably. No, I'm not going to say that. But you know, when we went to the cinema and I got that,
Yeah.
you're going to get that, but at a concert.
I don't know.
He was nice enough, but just
I'm trusting the Tool fans that they're on it with their hygiene.
yeah. If you're going to go to the cinema, hey, bro, maybe make sure that your hygiene's up to par, especially if you're going to come sit next to me, because I got a good nose.
Yeah, that is it.
And it was because a nice enough bloke.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Like I even
Very
engaged
friendly,
with him through the film and like had a couple of chuckles, but it was overwhelming, wasn't it? And slowly, as the film went on, I was leaning closer and closer to Lou. He was on my right hand side, and I was just leaning closer and closer to him. I think he thought I was trying to whisper you something, and then I just went, "Got to do it, bro. Need the fresh air." And you were like, yeah.
Yeah. It was all being sealed in with a leather jacket.
Luckily,
But whenever there was movement, there would be
waft.
some scent that would escape.
Yeah, a wafting.
Yeah, it was rough, that was. Well,
We still haven't seen Morbius.
I know. Maybe next weekend?
It's going to be so late seeing that then by then, isn't it? I feel like we should do a film binge. Like do a couple of movies.
Yeah. Yeah. We can.
Have you got BJJ tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn you and your bendy pretzel stuff.
Yeah, I've got BJJ. And then I've got a family meal, actually, after.
A what?
Family meal.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What was I supposed to be doing tomorrow?
First family meal with...
I was supposed to be doing a photo shoot at yours, wasn't I, for RDX? But that's been postponed now, so I actually have the day free
This
tomorrow.
is the
second postponement of it, I know, because customs are just fucking up. Apparently, since we left Europe, we've lost the ability to ship anything into the UK.
It's a fucking nightmare. Everything is fucked at the moment.
I had one small little, like, what was it? Oh, it was just a button cover for the car coming in. It took 6 weeks. It was sent, and it just was stuck in the customs forever. It was a freaking little button.
I know this is getting probably political, but I really fucking wish we stayed in Europe, personally.
Yeah, I think long term it won't make a bloody bit of difference, but just right now it's really annoying because it's messing with my stuff that I don't need that I want.
I personally, I do not see, like, I understand that we don't want to be trapped by their rules and whatever else, but I was like, what's the need for all the division and, like, segregation? Like, we're all, I know it's too hippie, but, like, we're literally all on the same fucking planet.
I know, I don't
Does
get...
it really matter where
do you know what
someone
it is?
drew an artificial line?
It's the 3-letter word. Tax.
Yeah.
That's it. It fucks everything. People just get greedy.
Isn't it?
This is it. You know, I've been looking at more and more because obviously we talked about psychedelic use and stuff like that. If we put some of our world leaders on some psychedelics, just take them for a couple, take them all to a retreat, put them all on some mushrooms or DMT. I tell you now, they'd all come out. There'd be no war. There'd be no division.
What is that big meeting?
The United Nations thing.
Yeah.
Take it to the summit.
Yeah.
Just blow it in through the air systems.
Yeah.
Just vape them with DMT.
When they're all their tea is mushroomed.
Oh, you could give them all a mushroom tea.
I'm pretty sure that's in a film, isn't it?
That's a thing.
Is that in a film? I'm sure that's done. That's been like a comedy sketch somewhere.
Dude, I got hooked this week to Psyched Substance.
Yeah.
I just got hooked to him as a human being. So I was jumping back and forth from his time. If you haven't checked it out, Psyched Substance is a guy on YouTube who he would do live tests of certain types of
fucking everything
of like party paraphernalia as well as psychedelic stuff. His whole goal is to show you when things are real, when they're not real, how they feel, and what to expect.
Good safety protocols.
Yeah, the whole shebang. But then he's had some real personal issues in his everyday life, which he's had since he was younger. It's not a drug fueled thing, but he has used certain types of drugs for escapism.
Well, he's battled with addiction,
but from some odd stuff like kratom, which is often used in the fitness industry to help with a better mood enhancement and pain reduction.
Relief, yeah.
But what it has is a similar effect to an opioid in it. It has this one meta something or other in it, which it stimulates your opioid receptors, and that's it. And he obviously was very susceptible to that. And again, this is why everything is so genetically dependent. We're all so different. People have taken kratom for years and years, no issues. It's just all benefits. He crashed hard on this shit. Like, it literally ruined his family life.
There's a lot of evidence now as well of kratom trashing people's natural testosterone as well.
This is a thing, but nobody's proved it yet.
Yeah, and that's what he thought, because he got his testosterone checked. And he was like, low. Yeah, what's the technical term is like hypergonadal? Is that it?
Yeah, there was that, but also his iron levels were so low. If your iron levels are somewhere between 40 and 400, whatever nanomoles per liter, his was 7.
Yeah,
they were like shocked that he was standing up. Like, he shouldn't have been able to function. He was like, "Look, I don't know how you." He was like, "Oh, I was getting a lot of head rushes." Like, there's no.
And he was still training as well.
His heart, it would have been an issue. Like, literally the amount of blood going around his body, there would have been heart issues for him. It was like they were shocked he wasn't having heart palpitations. So again, this is a normal guy. And again, if he'd been tested, had his bloods done, he would have known this shit way earlier. And the only reason he got it done is because he's friends with Derek from More Plates, More Dates, who hooked him up with the service to go get himself checked. And he found out all these issues. And now he's got his life back on track and everything's rocking and rolling again. Family life's back together. Great to see. So...
You know, Leo from Leon Longevity?
Yeah.
He's in the UK at the moment.
Message him.
I've already messaged him. He ain't going to listen to me, but he might.
Oh, okay.
You might message.
Right, we'll message Leo. See if we can get him on. If you guys haven't checked out, you are interested in the blood stuff, check out Leo Longevity.
Yeah, Leo Longevity.
He's super. Bear with him.
Yeah.
He's got so much in his brain. It's like when you go and ask that professor at chemistry how something works, and he tells you the whole dynamics of the universe to get to the reaction.
You didn't get on with it at first, did you? Because I was like, you should give this guy a listen because he's so knowledgeable. And you were just like, oh, I can't focus on him because he's like... He's a bit...
He tangents in detail, though.
Yes.
So I get so confused because he's talking about all the chemical names, the interactions, and he'll go off on a tangent about more chemical names and more chemical interactions. I'm like, too much.
Yeah.
You need a notepad almost.
Like his insight's fairly high level for the most part. His more recent content, he's definitely able to make it more easy to consume for the lay person like we are. And... yeah, but just some of the information that he puts out is just fucking brilliant. Just overall health and longevity stuff. Yeah. Really, really good. So it would be amazing to get him on.
Honestly, please take advantage of YouTube for this type of stuff. Just please stop watching nonsense and just look at some of the stuff that's in just the deeper stuff on YouTube that's there for you. That's just free information that's so informative.
Unfortunately, the algorithm doesn't.
It will not push it.
Push it? No, it doesn't.
Please just go and find it. Search these guys. Search whatever blood testing or way you're feeling or something like that. Just try and search it on Google and find these things and find on YouTube, and find these people that have the knowledge that you can then backtrack through their channels and find way more information and other things that will interest you. And it just offers you so many more pathways rather than going to your local GP who pretty much fucking Googles your issue. Now they have like a database which they Google problems because your GP is a general practitioner, which means that they can't know everything.
Well, a lot of the time they'll just end up referring you on to somebody else.
And that's a fucking struggle. And then you're left another 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is all again part and parcel of the fact we lost Cedric. And maybe this was avoidable if 5-6 years ago he'd have been checked a little deeper, done things a little bit more regularly.
Well, I think
Boston, same.
I think that the psychological aspect is really like it's never really talked about, that this type of behavior and self-destructive kind of, because they all know that what they're doing is not healthy.
So even more reason though to kind of now check, but this is because again nobody died at the time. They went 10 years, nobody died.
Yeah.
everyone's like, well, we're all good.
Yeah. But
And now we're seeing this scary
it's that cognitive dissonance of like literally like just partitioning it off. Just like, nope, your brain's like shutting it off. That's not happening because I'm focused on this thing.
What do you think?
It is
about personal view of yourself as well. Like, I remember when I first started weightlifting, I would look in the mirror relentlessly and analyze and be obsessed with like fixing certain spots, and then I would look so much like that I would almost seem fat when I was shredded because I'd look at myself too much and notice only negative spots. So there has to be a point as well where you step back from yourself and realize, okay, I'm overly processing everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm being too critical, hypercritical, and not in a positive way.
well also how much of this boils down to at one point or another some insecurities for a lot of people, like that, you know, most people, including myself, started lifting weights or started training. I did it to pull, like to try and get
I did it
girls.
because of action movies.
And like, I thought that, this is something that guys should do. All guys should look jacked.
Yeah.
But I was a skinny little kid, and I was like, I don't look like these guys. I need to do it. Like maybe in my head, that was what women surely should have found attractive. Turns out, not really. Not really.
Actually, no. Scares them.
Just other dudes. So like, nice delts,
I think
bro.
actually that's flipped now because fitness is way more mainstream.
Yeah.
I do think that there is a flip towards the females actively wanting,
Someone who's in shape.
people in shape. But there's also more females in the gym now lifting weights as well,
Mm-hmm.
so they can appreciate the effort that's gone into creating the physique, maybe.
Yeah.
And so that gives them more appreciation that maybe this guy isn't such a douche. Actually, there's probably if I talk to him and there's more than just like, yeah, I've heard about protein shakes.
Yeah.
You want? Yeah, I heard there's a protein vodka they're making now.
Yeah.
Do you want to get some? Like if there's something, you walk up and a guy speaks outside of. Also, please don't fucking talk about the gym at meals or in the bar or when you're out. Don't be that cock.
Yeah.
Just
No
let
one
me know
cares.
the moment you open your mouth and anything to do with the gym comes out your mouth. Everybody at that table is bored of you instantly. Everybody would rather stab themselves in the knee with their fork.
Especially if they're out, like
Just
for a drink or for a nice meal.
talk about life.
They don't care about the macros.
No one gives a fuck. Don't be the dude as well. Don't make it everybody else's problem that you're counting macros.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah, just please.
Anyway, going to the...
No, that's not in any way. That's a real one. Please.
No, well, yeah, there is that.
Not fucking, don't skip that because there's people like that. If you know somebody who's like that,
Like the chicken and broccoli guy who brings his
fucking
food
tag them in on
there.
this now. Lex and Lou say no.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
don't be that guy
So
or girl.
the initial point of like the insecurity, I'm wondering if obviously these guys that really do push the boundary in terms of like the drugs, trying to be like a real big bodybuilder, whether that stems from maybe a more deep rooted kind of insecurity in themselves, and then their identity gets wrapped up in
course,
I'm the big guy now.
Imagine
this
being
is what
big and shredded.
Yeah.
And then having to live any other way after that.
Yeah.
It must fuck with their heads.
Yeah, because now, like, even me, who, like, not even, like, a bodybuilder would look at me and not even think I'll lift.
Yeah.
But, like, even now...
I agreed with that way too easily then, didn't I?
Yes, definitely.
Yep. Carry on.
100%.
Moving forward, yep.
Thanks, mate. I really
Sorry,
appreciate that.
I just realised I properly brushed it off like, but I didn't really hear what you said. I was just agreeing with
but
your
it's
process.
true, though. Like, a bodybuilder would
where you
look
were
at me
going,
and think I was skinny and fat at the same time. But then somebody, Joe Blogs off the street, would look at me and think, oh you're somebody who's in good shape.
That's true.
So, like, it is all about perspective.
Perspective as well is one thing. When you're dieting, this is how you judge between friend. I was going to say friend and foe, but I'm going to change it. Between friend and cook or cock. So when you've been dieting, you're trying to get more shredded. You're going to look flatter before you go in the gym, but when you look pumped, you're going to obviously see all those details are going to come out. I used to get like that all the time when I was coming into, especially in like a competition stage or a fight.
Yeah.
I'd always get leaner, which obviously you lose that some of the bulkiness.
Yeah.
But then when you're pumped, you look fucking ridiculous. It just doesn't last. Here's your friend. You're looking lean.
Yeah.
Here's your cock. You've lost some size. Oh. So that's the moment when they say you've lost some size. That's the first thing they say to you. don't talk to that person again.
Yeah.
They're a jealous cock.
Yeah, that's their
That's
they're
their
jumping on that opportunity.
moment to get a dig. They get something because they've not changed a fucking iota, or they've got worse. Fuck those guys. So it's a good marmiter.
Yeah.
You know, splitting the room jobby.
Yeah. I was yesterday. I actually got a training session with one of my old friends, Marcus, who is a competitive bodybuilder, who coaches other competitive bodybuilders, and I've not seen him. It's probably been 12 months since I've seen him, and even then, it was probably another 12 months since I saw him the last time. Just COVID and all that shit. And he moved out the way, so I've not seen him. We had a session at Black Country Barbell. It was really good. We went and got food after. And I was talking about this because he said, like, when he was natural, he had that problem where, like, as he started to, some people are able to maintain a decent amount of muscle mass as they diet down.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, part of it is psychological, but I do lose muscle mass quite quickly as I start dieting. I'm not somebody who's able to stay that muscular when I'm very lean. I end up getting a bit stringy, and he said he was the same when he was natural.
Do you not just think that is lack of development of certain areas though, because you just still got the time to go?
Yeah. There definitely is that, and there is still going to be a genetic component that some people will maintain more muscle mass at a leaner body weight, and other people it's just going to be harder for them to hold on.
Or there's the fact that some people lean out in other areas quicker than others, so that your legs might lean out before your upper body does. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah,
but that can happen.
Yeah, 100%. And Marcus did say, like, there is that genetic component. A big chunk of that is just how you perceive yourself. Yeah. But he talked about it. He said there's a no man's land. He said when you've gone from a bulk to a cut, there's a no man's land. You've got really big. And then you start dieting, and you're losing size, but you're still not very lean. And you lost size, and you're still not lean. And you've still lost size, but you're still not lean. And then you start to get lean. So you've got this period of time where you're losing that extra fluffiness and that mass, but you don't really look any more defined. Because if you think about it, just as your abs, and you've got your abs that are like that.
This is a problem as well. Everyone judges leanness on abs.
Yeah.
And this is a problem because sometimes abs are the last motherfuckers to come in.
Yes. Well, I was just using this as like an example. If you think about, like, if you're watching right now, you'll be able to see. But you're thinking about your abs, and they're like, little bumps. And then you've got a layer of fat that's in front of that. So you just see this flat layer of fat. You get a little bit leaner. There's still that flat layer of fat. You get a little bit leaner. And then, okay, now you start to see the slightest bit of a bump. So between those first two jumps, your stomach is still just smooth. There's no definition.
Yeah.
But you've just got smaller. But there's no more definition that's actually come out at that point. And that is that no man's land. And you have to, like, kind of persevere through that to get to the point where... Because, like, you're still fairly lean, even when, in your mind, you're not that lean.
I was going to bring that up. So I stay very lean on my arms.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Mm-hmm. Ever since... And this is where, people will disagree and say that fat redistribution isn't a thing. And I'd be like, well, cool, explain my fucking arm then, because, well, arms, but you just can't see it all now because it's tattooed over. But when I dieted down for like the third show, when I came back out, when I'd really perfected the lean gain coming out of it, that rebound phase, I'd really controlled the rebound. The feathering, I'm all right, mate. The feathering on my triceps never went away.
Yeah.
So even when I'm quite heavy, if I can get a deep enough flex on that tricep, you'll still see the feathering in it because the fat just never redistributed it over it the same. And it happened in a time where I hadn't gained any more mass. I dieted down, so it was the size it was, and then I came up and out of it. And within that same time where everything else covered over, that didn't recover over.
I've heard that from a few people, that it, like, when you actually get super... like, literally competition lean, and stay, fairly lean for a little while, when you regain, it's
all about that rebound time. So you come back out a control. So you come back out with that rebound. You do a controlled ascent back up through your calories. You don't just pile them all back in. Now, Garrett, like, warranted, if you stopped training, like some of these pro guys do, after the competition, and then just put calories in, then maybe the fat will go back on evenly. But if you're training back up through that rebound period, which for a natural is the best period of growth that you can get, so you should be fucking caning it through that period. I honestly, there is fat redistribution. I just 100%, it's happened too. I can see it, and it's never gone away. But there is this factor of as well overanalyzing yourself. Like now, if you ever get super lean, understand that you will not be able to maintain that level of leanness without long-term detriment. And so no matter what, you're going to have to leave that behind, and it's always going to niggle you. Because I was doing it today when I sat outside in the sun this morning. I went outside and sat down. I just had shorts on, top off because it was sun shining. I was like, cool, I'm going to get a bit of colour on the skin, get that sun's rays on me, I'm going to soak it up everywhere, vitamin D my body up. And I sat there and I could see a slight... Now when I sit, my stomach's flat, but where I sit from my lower belly to my hips, there's a crease.
Yeah.
That crease bothers me.
Yeah.
Because when I was super lean... That's not there at all. So to my mind's eye, because I've had that baseline of really lean, that's what my brain always goes off. But that was never a leanness I was able to maintain for a long period. What I'm at now is probably some of the best balanced leanness to muscle mass ratio that I've had for a very long time. And that is big part and parcel of, I've been lifting for like 15 years.
Yeah.
That's the only reason now I look thick and lean. Yeah. Now I could never maintain that through the early years of it. It just wasn't, it was either one or the other. You were thick or you were lean. And over time, you develop both because your muscle fibers get thicker and denser. And the new fibers that were, well, the fibers that hadn't been worked prior to your lifting start to catch up the other bigger fibers that grew through your life experiences and life habits.
Yeah.
So it's a time bomb thing, but that fucks with your mind. But just trust me, if you stick with it, you only get better over time. But that's from putting in the consistency over time that it happens. But you have to understand, if you're dieting down to an extreme size, extreme leanness, or bulking up to an extreme size, you need to check your mental state at the peaks of those two times and understand that they are not something maintainable. And that you have to kind of become, you don't have to accept it, but you have to become at one with the fact that this will change. And there's going to be your no man's land is probably where you're going to sit most of the time.
Yes. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's the weird like irony
so
of
you
it.
have to get happy in that no man's land.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is strange, isn't it? Because I was meant to do a cut. I don't even remember when it was now. It was sometime last year.
You fully bailed on that.
Yeah, and I fully bailed on it because I was
mentally.
Just like, I couldn't.
It was a mental bail.
I can't do it.
I remember you coming here and I was like, oh, you're looking good.
Yeah.
And like you showed me your abs were coming in real quick.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a big difference. Your waist came in straight away.
Well,
and all of these positives, you still found this one negative.
Yeah.
You felt smaller, overwhelmed, all these pluses.
Yeah. For me, the main thing, like obviously feeling smaller is like a part of it. I fucking love feeling strong. Like shifting something heavy is brilliant, and I'm not strong. Like genetically, I'm not somebody who's strong. I've fucking battled to get what I've got, but I know my kind of boundaries and my limitations, so I know when I'm strong for me. I'm never going to break any records. I'm never even going to fucking...
No, but for the average guy, like,
Yeah,
I sit and watch you like I'm watching a movie. Yeah. When you get under that bar, I'm like, how's he going to move that? And then you just go, jink. I'm like, whoa.
But, like, that's something that I train for.
Yeah, but to me, it's more impressive that you do it because you look like a normal human.
Yeah.
If I watch a big motherfucker get under and do that, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, they should.
Respect it.
Yeah.
When you do it, I'm like, I should be. Why can't I do that? It makes me question why I can't do it. Big guys don't make me question that because they just look at me like,
massive.
I'm built for that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I think I always had that in my head as well. I wanted to like look normal, but still be like freakishly strong.
Yeah.
And
which you've achieved.
Yeah, I know. I suppose maybe I have.
But you don't look normal. Like you have like thick glutes, thick quads.
If anyone's
if anyone watched the stories that we're about to answer the questions from now, you got a prime front seat view of Lou's glutes.
I do. I've always had pretty decent glutes. I was talking to Marcus yesterday, my bodybuilder mate, and I was like, my forearms, my calves are the only things that I get consistent compliments on. Actually, to be fair, now my glutes, I do get a lot of compliments on my glutes from girls that are just like, what do you do? What do you do for your ass?
Girls appreciate the glutes now. It's such a feature in their world.
Well, kind of rolling onto it, one of the questions, actually two of the questions that I'd had were, what do you do to get an ass like that? So
how much is it genetics for your butt?
So there's 100% a genetic component. Like that is a factor. Even I remember at school getting compliments on my ass.
This is a tangent. Lou's butt.
Yeah.
Here we
go.
So
I used to get like that was I'm not going to say the compliments because they
come
made
on.
me fucking cringe.
No, I want to hear the come on.
So there was this one. that my best friend Chris, he kept from me because he was like, I didn't want you to be like disturbed by this girl because
By a girl.
Yeah, I know they were like.
She told him the compliment.
Yeah, she was like, "I'll tell Lewis this," but I used to have loads of friends, boys and girls. I used to have quite a few female friends, and I'm not interested in that way at all. Just friends that then said stuff, and then Chris knew that I was just friends with them, so didn't want me to know to like then be like, "Oh God,
feel awkward."
I want to," which I would have, and I did. I was just like, "Nope," and I'll just like close the door on them and just ignore them.
Yeah.
Like it's so stupid. It makes me. I'm literally cringing now, saying that I have a fruity booty.
Fruity booty. That's a good one. That's a T-shirt. Fruity booty.
Yeah, and Chris was just like, and it was literally.
I am changing your name in my phone right now to Lewis Fruity Booty.
Yeah, so after, I think he literally waited till we left school and then was like, "Oh, you remember blah, blah, blah?" He was like, "Yeah, she..."
Remember who?
Blah, blah, blah. I didn't
I
say.
thought you said Boba. I was like, what a wicked name.
No. Remember blah, blah, blah person.
Blah,
and I was
blah.
just, I'm not going to say her name.
Yeah, go on.
And he was like, "Yeah, she said that to tell Lewis that he's got a fruity booty." And I was like, "Fuck's sake, you should have told me." Because then I carried on talking to her after. Like she knew, like I knew that what she'd said.
I'm putting it in caps.
But anyway, yeah, so I've had a fruity booty for a while.
That's going to confuse me when you message me now because I'm going to forget I've done that.
But I was skinny as hell when I was a kid. Like I was 8-9 stone when I was at school. And I had good forearms, good ass, and good calves. But since I've been lifting, there's been a few things that I did change that have really made my ass like stand out. Like I'm a lot thicker everywhere now.
Yeah.
I'm like hovering around like 90, 91 kilos. I'm not that lean, but like,
Yeah, there's a lot of mass.
but yeah, my ass is big, even like relative to everything else.
There's a lot of mass to that ass. Carry on with the booty. The battery died. The battery couldn't handle the booty talk.
Yeah, the glutes are too
we're talking
powerful.
about banded booty work that you see on Instagram. It's not going to grow your glutes. It's just an activation movement.
Yeah, and like
don't fall for the fallacy.
Yeah, like the kickbacks and stuff like that. Like, yes, these kind of small little isolation movements, they're gonna help to a certain extent, but the glutes are fucking massive muscles. Like,
oh yeah,
relative to everything else, they're fucking huge.
Well, if you think of them, they're like the shoulder of the arm as well. But instead of being split into 3 small little pieces, it's like a giant shoulder.
Yeah. They're fucking huge, and they are made well. Just the fact that you look at some strength athletes, find a single strength athlete or a good like field athlete, like an NFL player, a rugby player. They've all got massive glutes.
NFL bad choice because they're all of the darker persuasion.
Well, again, no, you're gonna have
they got them genetic glutes.
Sick glutes. But basically, you need to get fucking really strong with, some kind of a squat movement, some kind of a hip thrust movement. Those 2 things, if you want big glutes, should be the priority, and focus on strength, like progressively overloading, because there is no reason why you can't, like, even women should be able to eventually be hip thrusting 200 kilos.
Yeah, but here's the added benefit. Aside from wanting to glow glutes, aside from wanting to grow the glutes, you should be working glutes because they're a fantastic enabling muscle that'll help tons of other movements feel more stable, and you'll be able to push more weights through the other muscles as a result of the glutes being stronger and able to stabilize the mechanics.
Yeah.
So things like if you want to be better at squat movements, at lunging movements, at rugby tackling, anything like if you want to be MMA takedown strength, stuff like that, glutes are a major component. And if it's weak, like mine was weak on left side, you end up with knee problems and all sorts of mechanical issues. So
the amount of people that we see that have, I've got bad knees, and I can't squat, I've got bad knees. And then when we look at how they squat, people think about squatting and they're just like, I'm just going to bend at the knees. Yeah. You need to be thinking about sitting your hips back, and actually like all of the large musculature around your hips should be utilized. And that's why I do really favor people going off and doing some box squats for a little while, because it is easier to sit your hips back because you've got something to actually sit down onto.
It takes the fear out of it.
Yeah, you can visualize it. You don't fucking worry about what your knees are doing. Your knees are, if you're trying to sit back onto something, your knees are going to bend anyway. They've fucking got to.
Yeah.
Think about sitting those hips back a little bit, and I think a box squat is brilliant for a lot of people. Definitely shifts the focus to the musculature around the hips, especially the glutes. And again, like a hip thrust, it's not fucking special. It's literally get really strong at something, because a strong muscle is a big muscle for the most part. And I think that the ceiling for like the potential is so high for the glutes in terms of strength capacity. People have barely tapped into it. People are doing kickbacks with 15 kilos.
Yeah,
and people are doing little fucking band resistance
That's
stuff.
like doing calf raises with 10 kilos.
Yeah, like
your calves, you walk on them all day long. You think that's challenging them?
Yeah.
Nah, put some effort in.
they're muscles that are meant to be big and powerful, so treat them as such.
Get a fruity booty.
Yeah, get a fruity booty.
Let's get some questions because we got a few. One, for starting off, here we go. Tips on growing a fitness page. Well, at the moment, any...
Don't do it on Instagram.
Yeah, fucking
Do it
pretty
on
much.
TikTok
Get on
instead.
TikTok. Get on TikTok. Think about when you're showing a movement. Don't show more than like 3 or 4 reps of it. And if you want to show a workout, show literally 3 or 4 reps. Put the description of the movements in the description for people to read, and then just show on the screen the rep range and what the movement name is. And then just consistency of upload on it. Even then, like, it's going to be a motherfucker right now, because Instagram, TikTok's your way forward. If you can do, sometimes you can just do motivational stuff with fitness where you can push through a hard rep, and your one reel of just pushing through that single rep, and put something on the screen like "Don't let a rep defeat you," and then put that on with some cool music or something like that. It's just got to be something that's interesting. Camera angle's important. Quality of your film's important as well. So make sure you're getting a good camera angle. Make sure you're editing it as well. Don't have any needless points of
Just chop out any clutter.
Yeah, get rid of the clutter. Make it short, sharp, and interesting.
Also,
it's not interesting to watch.
No, think about what else is in the scene as well. That's something that we've noticed massively. So we've put out several just basic, like, one movement videos, and ones that have a backdrop that's very recognizable. So for us with Black Country Barbell, we've got a red wall with our logo on that everybody knows. That's like one of our things. When that's in the background, we'll get a couple thousand views. We've done some that are just tucked away in a corner where it's just black walls, literally getting like 100, 200 views. It's that drastic.
Do you know why?
People, it just blends in. People just scroll right past it. There's nothing eye-catching.
Striking.
Yeah. So thinking about what else
you don't
is
have
there.
a red wall though. You can create that engagement by using a strong bokeh on your shots, which you can now use with software on your phones. And that the bokeh is the blurry background, and so it just makes it more eye-catching. Don't have it a long focal length where you're in focus and the people 10 feet behind you are in focus, and don't have a shitload of stuff going on behind you. Show an angle where you're the focus and the movement's the focus, and don't have shitloads of space above or below you either. Try and keep it quite cropped in and tight so it's interesting, so people can see the muscle working or see it moving.
I think as well on Instagram, I don't know what it was, but I know that the average time people spend looking at a post is less than a second. So if you're not going to catch their attention, it's literally something like it's like 0.6 or 0.7.
And that's with anything on socials at the moment.
So
there you go.
That's your fucking time frame to make an impression. So do it quick.
I just film loads of shit and put it up. Some shit will land, some shit won't. Don't worry about the stuff that doesn't.
Also, like, this is something that we do a lot more of, is look back, actually analyze, see, okay, what, because otherwise, how you're pissing in the wind otherwise. Look back, what did I do that went really well? What did I do that didn't do really well? Can you try and identify some points? Like, this is something now, because we know that one coach has filmed a load of stuff in one area and none of those videos take off. I filmed a load of stuff in another area and every single one of them does well.
That's the fruity booty.
It is the fruity booty. That is it. Obviously, the fact that, we're both beautiful, that helps.
Yeah, just put them up. Put them up. Oh, hang on. We've got on it the Joe Green. With that ass, I truly believe Lou could drop a cow, maybe even 10.
See, I'm glad that Joe believes in me.
That's from the previous podcast. It was like, what animal do you think you could beat up? And Lou definitely decided he could take on a cow.
Yeah.
I still think the cow kills you.
No, mate. You don't know the power that's
maybe
in
if you
those
went in
boots.
booty first.
Yeah.
The Batman, Dark Knight, and Batfleck in a fight to the death. Who wins? Ooh. Oh, well, definitely. I'm going Dark Knight. He's got the skill set that Batfleck would have, but more agility still because he's not as war-torn.
Yeah, I just think that Batfleck's got too, like, his gadget shit was like a little bit over the top, almost like, I don't know. Yeah, he was more brute
Are you thinking
force,
about
wasn't
when he fought Superman?
Yeah, that's the Batfleck.
He doesn't have that suit on though.
Okay,
He's got normal Batman suit.
Yeah.
You're going Dark Knight.
I just think as well, if Christian Bale, to be honest, if I was to put money on Christian Bale fighting pretty much anyone in the...
I think Christian Bale beats both those guys up anyway.
If we were talking actor to actor, I wouldn't fuck with Christian Bale.
Always, Dark Knight beats both the Batman and Batfleck, and Christian Bale beats up both Ben Affleck and Thingamajigger's whose name I can't remember right now.
Robert Pattinson.
Oh,
he would absolutely murder.
He'd get hammered, wouldn't he?
He would do obscene things to Robert Pattinson's corpse as well.
Yeah, he would. Okay, next. Didn't you feel like pricking a needle into his gains? Oh, that's from your glute shot again.
I will be soon.
Most of these questions I feel are going to be about your glute. That's I am Mr. Bad. What a good name. Lee in Nutshell. Hello, Lee. Shag, marry, or kill. I love that northern because normally it's fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah.
And he's gone shag. Yeah. Bastard. Bill Crosby. Does he mean Cosby?
Yeah, Cosby, yeah.
Yeah. Bill Cosby. Oh, yeah, he definitely meant Bill Cosby because the next two, Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris. You gotta fuck one, marry one, and kill one.
I'd marry Rolf Harris, I think.
Would you?
Yeah, because he'd do all kinds of nice paintings for me.
He'd paint your misery.
Yeah. I'd kill Savile.
Yeah, I think I'd have to kill Savile.
Just because looking at him makes me really uncomfortable.
Have you seen the Netflix documentary on him?
I haven't watched it.
Mate,
I will.
It's engaging once you're in it.
Yeah,
they've done a really good job of it, and he is just sinister. Yeah. And the fact that nobody realised is insane.
Yeah.
The dude was the creepiest motherfucker you could think of. If you were to think of the child catcher from Mary Poppins, he's Jimmy Savile, right? Yeah. Then this dude had basically a skeleton key to a children's hospital where they were doped up and drugged up, and he was allowed to wheel them in and out of wards at will, be left on his own with them, and they were like 12 to 13-year-old boys and girls.
Fucking hell. I didn't know that.
He had a TV show where children sat on his lap relentlessly. I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube video of him with a hard-on, with a kid like sat next to him on the TV show that nobody seems to be aware of.
Yeah.
Savile
would definitely be dead.
And when you watch the Netflix documentary, the amount of times he alludes to his behavior not being caught is insane. He makes a joke of it consistently. He says this one thing consistently. Someone will say something that's like, oh, it's been a great fun, but the trial's next Thursday. And it's the trial's next Thursday. The trial's next Thursday is a common joke he runs through his career. And he constantly alludes to the fact that he pinches and pokes people until they squeal, or until it's honestly, watch it, you'll understand. It's unbelievable that nobody.
I've heard several people have told me about it. If I'm honest, I've just not wanted to because I can't deal with that.
It doesn't really leave you feeling too negative.
I'd still kill him. I'd want to fucking kill all of them. It
just leaves you more intrigued that he just wasn't caught sooner.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't caught.
Yeah.
It just wasn't caught.
Yeah. So for me, like I said...
So yeah, we're killing Savile, definitely. Now,
Rolf Harris I would marry.
You're marrying Rolf Harris.
And that is because of the artwork. And I actually used to like... As a kid, I used to like Rolf Harris because I used to really enjoy art and drawing and used to watch some of his programmes, which then means that I've got to shag Bill Cosby.
You're shagging Bill Cosby.
But I'll roofie that motherfucker. I'm giving him a taste of his own medicine. He's going to wake up, he ain't going to know what the fuck's hit him.
I'm killing Savile.
I ain't going to make it nice for Bill Cosby. It's going to be a rough one. He's going to wish he was dead. He was going to wish he was Savile.
I think I do the same. I don't think he'd want to marry Cosby because I think in his private life he was also like a militant motherfucker. Like, you wouldn't be able to do anything fun. Whereas at least you'd be able to do some fun stuff with Rolf.
Yeah. I like that little... What's that board?
Yeah, the wobbly thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, as obviously what he's done was completely...
They're all horrendous.
He's a horrendous person.
Yeah, and then I'm having to do the same as you. I'm doing the same. But I'd kill them all.
Yeah. That'd be my preference.
Yeah, some way or another. Okay. Finn Ashley. Who would win? A crocodile with the body of a lion. Huh? Okay, so it's a crocodile head, body of a lion.
Okay.
Against a badger with the body of an elephant. Badger with the body of an elephant. Fucking definitely. Badgers can bite like a motherfucker, and it would take... but the elephant's body can take some damage and keep trooping. And it can stomp.
I'm pretty sure
Just stomp.
An alligator with the body of a lion would trip over its own head quite often. It'd the head would hang down and...
It'd have the claws, but you've just got the stomping and
But
biting.
then it's got the bite, but then it hasn't got the roll. It's lost the death roll.
The death roll, yeah.
Yeah. So then, that's just a clamp. So it's going to get the foot. Then that leg's going to...
Well, an elephant body, it's going to just toss it.
Yeah, I think it would get trampled.
Yeah.
I think the elephant legs would trample it.
Yeah, badger elephant body
And
wins.
just the badger head's not even doing anything. It's just tiny little badger head on the top.
Do you think it's a tiny badger head or a purposeful size badger head?
Okay, if we're keeping it in proportion, that means that the alligator's head's going to get smaller to accommodate the lion body.
Yeah, sure. Well,
And then
have you seen the lion in real life, though? Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, but...
They're big.
Yeah, but some alligators
No, it's crocodile.
Was it crocodile? I don't know. Which one's the bigger one?
Oh, I don't actually, because it's just an emoji. So put an emoji of a crocodile or an alligator. So it could be either or. What's the emoji?
Either way, I think they're like a lion. Lions are massive, but the head's still going to be a bit smaller than it would be on a fully grown one.
And the croc doesn't have the reptilian tank ability with the lion body. It's just squishy meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Badger elephant.
I do think
stomps it to death.
Yeah, I think just a lion on its own would be more effective than the crocodile / alligator lion hybrid.
Yeah.
Whereas the badger elephant is definitely an upgrade for both of them.
Good question. Okay.
I like how these are our more serious questions. Like the Jimmy Savile thing. Yeah, take the piss. But we've got some serious news
Let's
here.
debate this down now.
We've got
the biology
We've got
of it.
badger elephant hybrids here.
Oh dear. All right. Have you ever had this is I can't even hear Manu Shiliri.
Manu.
Yeah, cool. Have you ever had a point in your life or your career where you just couldn't handle it anymore?
No. I'm really...
There's been lows where you get overwhelmed, but you've no the option to quit just isn't there.
Yeah. There ain't really. I don't quit.
No, I just look for other avenues.
Yeah. I'll keep moving forward, but and don't get me wrong. There's some times where I've felt that's the case, but like
there'll be a fleeting moment where you're like, "Am I done with it?"
Yeah, I might verbalize it, but
but inevitably
there ain't any quitting.
No. It says Craig LFC. You're just saying, "Nice peach, Mr. Lewis." Followed up with, "If your manhood made a sound every time it became excited, every time you got erect, what sound would it make? What sound would you want it to make?" Oof. So you're going to go oof every time. I think I'd like, when you go to the cinema and you get that da-da-da-da, like that da-da-da-da, like a look at me.
Well, what's that 20th Century Fox like drum roll?
Yeah, that one, yeah. Ba-ba-ba-ba, like the Minions.
Yeah, I don't know. I think mine would have to be slightly discreet because I still do randomly get erections. It's not all the time, but I still get them. Like when sometimes I wished I didn't.
Yeah. If you think of something a bit too much in the moment.
Yeah,
like,
you wouldn't
or
want
a memory pops in there and you're like,
you wouldn't want it to be. Yeah, you wouldn't want it to be too.
I think I like the fact we still have that uncontrollability though. It still shows the virality.
Yeah.
Imagine if you thought something really like awesomely sexual and nothing happened. That'd be a bit of a worry.
That's when, again, talking to Marcus the other day, because I talked to him about the fact that I was using finasteride, and he was like, fucking hell, like, he didn't know if I was that educated about some of the libido issues with it, and that's when we ended up kind of going down that route, and I said, like, fucking hell, I could do with losing some of it, because it's a pain in the ass. So, yeah.
Which film would you recast as a Muppet movie, and who would be the one human left? Fucking hell, it's complicated, right? Which film would you recast? So, what movie, but it's all Muppets now.
Wow.
But you're allowed one human left in the movie.
This is such a good question. Oh. Wow. I feel like they needed to restrict our choice of movies because now in my head I'm thinking of like all the more recent, like the last few years.
Immediately, my brain went Godfather, but you still
right,
leave
okay.
in Pacino. No, De Niro. No, Pacino. Pacino, sorry. I get so confused between those two all the time.
Oh man, see, the first thing
Because imagine him in that scene where he gets mad and slaps her, but it's a Muppet he's slapping. And she's giving him shit as a Muppet.
Yeah.
And then all the killings
Yeah.
would be different with them being Muppets. Commando. Predator.
Some of these classics. Yeah.
Rocky, but he's still human.
Oh, I feel like Rocky. I feel like Rocky has one of the Muppets as well. We just leave like, I don't know, Mickey.
Okay. It's just Mick as the human.
He's the one human. It's like it's more focused around him, just like training these puppets up to beat other puppets. Oh, that would be fucking brilliant.
There's too many.
Oh yeah, no.
I think you've possibly made every movie ever better.
Yeah, that would be so amazing. The first thing that came to mind, because I just thought of like, what are some of my favourite films I've seen in the last like year or two. And the idea of seeing Dune, which was such story driven film, and then I was just like, and then make them all Muppets.
Think about No Country for Old Men with Muppets,
yeah.
But you leave in
Javier Bardem
as the human. He's just murdering Muppets.
Yeah, and he's just there like with that cow thing that
the prod.
Yeah, or he's just there that scene where he goes into the gas station. He's like, call it,
and
friendo.
the Muppet's just going shake. But he's still super serious.
That could be re-edited. Because they're never in the same shot together.
That's true.
That could be
That is true.
Call it friendo.
Oh yeah, God, that's such a great scene. He's incredible in that movie.
Yeah, that's such a fucking...
Can you believe I disliked that movie when I first saw it?
Really?
Do you know why? Because it didn't have a solid ending. And at the time, I had this real issue because it seemed to be a thing at the time where these movies didn't have solid endings. And because of that, that's all I remembered. And I neglected to appreciate, because it was the fact there was no conclusion to this epic movie.
Yeah.
So it almost left me like,
Yeah.
like I need to know. But
you don't know how it...
now I watched it back like 3 or 4 times since then, and it's one of my favourite movies.
It's fucking brilliant. I've just realised that
so good.
That's like also like Dune. That's got Josh Brolin and Javier Bardem in.
Yeah.
And fucking brilliant. Both. I really like those as actors. Like Javier Bardem, I think he's fucking awesome, and he doesn't get anywhere near as much recognition.
I know. What's that about?
And he's also strangely the most ugly person and the most handsome person.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
He's definitely stealing your girl.
Yeah, I don't know how.
But without words.
Yeah.
Just with emotional stares.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But has he got glutes like mine?
Does he have the fruity booty? Where were we at? Okay. Lewis, how you get such a pH fat ass?
Well, I've already said.
We've gone through that.
Squats.
What was the first record you ever remember buying?
So that I bought, well, I got somebody to actively buy me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember. I think it was "It Is Dark and Hell Is Hot" by DMX. That album. So an early DMX album.
I think
there was also Big Ones by Aerosmith. Though that I had very opposite some like types
I have a
of music.
feeling it was the single Tequila.
Yeah.
Is it Terrorvision?
I don't know.
Tequila.
Tequila.
Oh, tequila.
Ooh,
It makes you happy.
Yeah.
Knock on tequila. We're calling time. And it was like number 1 for ages. And I remember, I think it was either that or Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, the double. Oh, it's Use Your Illusions. Use Your Illusions, maybe.
I'm going to see
the
which
double,
one of these came out.
The double act, because you got two discs with that one.
It is dark and hell. It's dark and hell and out. So this came out in 1998. So I was 6. I was listening to DMX when I was 6.
Jesus. Is that real?
Yeah. I fucking loved DMX as a kid. I don't know how I got into DMX. Okay, and...
I like that one.
Big Ones came out in 1994. I was 2 at that point. So I didn't have it when I was 2. But I remember having it when I was on holiday at around about 8. I remember I was in holiday with my dad in Greece, and I just listened to big ones on repeat with a little cassette player.
I feel like I remember having Use Your Illusions on my Discman whilst I was on holiday, and I was just listening to it on repeat relentlessly because it was 2 discs, and just over and over. And I remember one time singing the lyrics in the back of the car, not knowing what they meant.
Yeah.
And my mum flipping around from the front saying, "What are you listening to?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh." And I couldn't remember the lyrics, but I didn't know what they meant, but it was talking about fucking pretty much.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, so I was beasting it out the back of the car.
Yeah.
And she was just like, "What the hell are you listening to?"
Yeah, I remember there was a few, like Aerosmith obviously had quite a few sexual songs in there as well. And I remember some of them, my little brain couldn't understand what Steve Tyler was meaning.
Isn't that funny? You can't even comprehend it.
Yeah.
Like your brain, even though you listen to the words, you could write them down and read them, you still wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
Because you've not had that life experience.
Well, there was one bit where, like, I'm trying to remember what song it was. I don't remember. But he was saying pissed off, pissed on. And I was like
that.
And I knew what pissed off meant, but then I just couldn't I couldn't comprehend being pissed on.
Like it was an actual thing.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just remember it was.
I remember singing one. I remember one of the Guns N' Roses one I didn't understand for ages was tied up, tied down, up against the wall. Tied up, tied down, up against the wall. Be my something. We can do it all.
Yeah.
And I had no clue it was a sexual reference.
Yeah.
Like through most of their albums, I missed all those things.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Classics, mate.
Right, we'll finish up.
I know this is completely random, but reminding me of that holiday in Greece.
Yeah.
I remember I had a watch that you could flip out, like you flipped the face of it and there was a compass on the back of it. You had to take it off, but it literally like spun. And I remember
Hang on, say that again.
So you had a watch, you could take it off, and the face of the watch spun around, and the other side was a compass.
And you could wear it as a compass.
Yeah.
Ah.
But I remember getting in trouble for coming in late because I'd left it as a compass, and I was 8 years old, wasn't really good at reading the time, so I was looking at a compass and had no clue what the time was, and it was like an hour late to
You
get
didn't
back.
understand that as you moved, time moved with you.
I was obviously just like glancing at it as I was going around, like fucking, I don't know, whatever you do as an 8-year-old.
Oh, fucking hell, I love those little things that you did when you were a kid. They're just so stupid.
I'll just have a look, see if because all of mine were literally just based around my ass. See if I've had any more come through. Ass.
Right, here we go. Let's get through these last ones because we're running pretty long. Phone addiction, i.e. constantly checking even when you know you have no messages, etc. How to stop. This is a real thing. I think it's something we need to actually address as a full topic.
Yeah.
Because
Something
the other day I was in the gym and I watched a couple and the girl had her head in her phone. And this is a couple I've seen in the gym before where he's definitely dragging her into the gym.
Yeah.
Like, she does not, she's no inclination towards wanting to train when she's in there. You can see in between any movement going between machines or anything like that, there's zero energy. There's zero want to get back on anything. And they just, also, don't bring your low ass fucking energy into the gym, people. I'm sick and tired of seeing people mosey into the gym with this face on like it's a fucking chore. Hey, you don't want to come to the gym? Don't fucking come. Don't bring your low ass mediocre energy around me in the gym because I get mad. I want to see motherfuckers around me training.
Yeah.
I want to look up and be like, mother, I've got to get back into my set. These motherfuckers are working.
I think there's a if you go in, just fucking go.
Just wait.
If
you're fucking in there. You've walked through the turnstile. You're in the fucking place that has one purpose. You've not options in there. It's not weights/coffee bar. It's a fucking gym.
Yeah.
You're in there for a purpose. And if you don't want to be there, don't fucking go.
I think, I don't know. Some people, obviously, you can start training, things go good, and then something goes wrong. Like you tweak something, or you don't get as many reps as what you want to do.
I'm talking about I'm walking in with the fucking minus 100 mood.
Yeah.
Moping. Like literally 2 people I saw walking the other day between themselves. They couldn't have looked. They looked like they were down tuning each other as they stepped step for step. Like they were both working towards just turning around and walking out and being all right with it. You know what I mean? Like they were talking each other into having a shit session.
Yeah. Like, fuck. Somewhat, like, I've had shit sessions, but
Get through that motherfucker though. They're the ones that count.
I think though, like those are the times where you need to fucking dig deep, put your headphones in, whatever you need to do to like take 5 minutes in. Take 5 minutes in the car before you even get out the car.
I've done that.
If you're not feeling it, just take 5 minutes, blast whatever the fuck gets you motivated, whatever that might be.
Stop looking at what's demotivating you.
Yeah.
Get off scrolling through innocuous bullshit.
Yeah. Or like sometimes even the innocuous bullshit. Sometimes find something specific that you know. I remember for a while, I was like a couple of years back when Larry Wills was a real small channel and he was like coming up as this fucking freak. I watched loads of his training footage because I was like, Jesus Christ, look at this fucking mutant. And then I was like, then watching him just be a fucking mong and lift some crazy shit. Would be like, I'm going to be a mong too.
What happens to you when you come out of an action movie?
Yeah.
You come out wanting to fight.
Yeah.
Or just do some cool shit.
Yeah, so I'd take 5 minutes, just watch some of his training footage.
Don't drive to the gym listening to some bullshit that's like making you mopey. Put something on that's going to amp you up. Watch something that's going to amp you up, like Lou said. Like,
not while driving.
Create the fucking mood before you get there.
Yeah. Set the scene, mate. That's fucking what
If you're moping into the gym, you are underselling yourself and you are reducing your potential for success.
Yeah, you
understand that.
You
Every
need to control
mope,
that environment.
Every mope,
That's something that I'm really taking like a handle on at the moment. But it's also a bit tough because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Now I've got 4 audiobooks on the go based on what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that whatever I'm going to do, and sometimes that might be music. I actually really try and avoid music as much as possible unless I want to deliberately amp myself up for training or sometimes for the podcast. Sometimes I was really tired today. I've just been fucking shattered. It's been a busy couple of weeks. So I didn't put on an audiobook like I normally would. I put on some music to kind of energize me a little bit before I got here. And like, it's setting the scene. You've got fucking control. So set the environment. Like if you wanna get ready for training, fucking get into it.
So the tangent was from phone addiction.
Yeah.
Constantly wanting to check your phone. Like you can see it, you check it, you put it down, 2 minutes later, pick it up to check the exact same thing, knowing there's going to be no difference. Here's the shit, right? The phone addiction is a real thing because the likes, the interactions, the comments give you a little dopamine rush. Oh, somebody's interested. Somebody's doing something.
Give a shit about me.
Yeah, it's a dopamine kick. So you need to replace that with something else. You need to or reduce the requirement for that dopamine rush. The way of stopping it is to actively catch yourself, picking it back up and saying, as you pick it up to check it again, no, I'm not going to do that. And then you put that fucking phone down and away from you. And then push your focus immediately onto something else and stick with it. And over time, you'll just separate yourself from it. And that's the best way of doing it. I've got a really good habit, which is also bad. I actually don't know where my phone is sometimes because I'll just put it down and leave it. And this often happens when I have something playing on the speakers around the house, like a podcast, like something that I'm listening to, like Alan Watts, Eckhart Tolle, all of these things, or like just music that's going on. It actively pulls my attention away from the phone. So make sure there's something else going on other than your phone.
Yeah. I think your proximity to the phone is massive, and that's something that's super easy to control. Don't be a fucking arsehole you've sat down, you've just got home after a day of work, you sit down with your missus or your partner, whoever it is, and you're having a catch up about the day, and you just pick up your phone and you're half having a conversation with them. Fuck your phone off. You've had the phone with you all day. Yeah. Talk to the person you're meant to be with.
Yeah.
At least give them some dedicated time, and that temptation is not going to be there if your phone ain't in your hand. Yep. And even and I've been guilty of this, I sit down to try and watch a program and then my attention's so shit that I'm not even able to pay attention to the program that I'm watching, and then I'll end up half on my phone, half watching.
It's like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
You have to have it in your hand. It becomes an addiction. You have to force it down. It has to be a conscious thing that you start doing. Yeah. And the point of the girl and the guy was, the lowest point when I looked at them was he was walking from one area of the gym to the dumbbells in the other area of the gym. She was walking right behind him with her face in her phone. She wasn't even interacting with a partner in a moment in the gym where you should be striving to push each other or be connected or be looking at. Literally, she couldn't stay off her fucking phone to walk between machines. So much so she bumped into a fucking machine while she was walking. And then afterwards, I saw her interrupting his sets to show him clothes she'd found for him to look at, for him to buy later. I'm like, how the fuck do you think you're helping him right now when he's in here to better himself by interrupting his concentration from what he's doing to show him a fucking vest?
Yeah, this is like gym etiquette 101. The absolute no of being in a gym. Never, under any circumstances, unless they're in imminent danger, interrupt someone mid-set.
Listen, I was training with people in the gym, and they have tried to they've either had low energy or tried to kind of spread things out by chatting in between stuff, and I actively stop them talking and go, shut up, I don't care, get going, move. And then I've had it training with people where they've got mad with me because I've said to them, they've had a low energy set, and I go, get back on and finish that. I was done. No, you fucking not. I say, you fucking happy with that set? Because I'm not happy with that set that you've done. And then if they don't get back on and do it, I'll go, tell you what, you go do your thing, I'm going to go do mine. I can be like that, but I don't want your low-ass fucking energy pulling me down. No. If you're training with me, you better tell me to get off my fucking ass and get in that set. That's what I want. Yeah. And that's what I'm going to do to you. And you don't like it, don't train with me.
Yeah, that's it. Look, I think at the end of the day, this is time for you. And fair enough if you're helping someone who's just getting into training and
that's still a positive interaction though.
Yeah, they don't know the etiquette. You're kind of teaching them what to do. Then the pace is going to be slower. If you're training with somebody as a training partner, or you've buddied up with somebody who you don't see very often, like that's the opportunity to push the fucking pedal even harder.
Yeah.
Like that,
or if you are feeling low, take that moment to have somebody else pull you back up.
Yeah.
And allow them to. Don't fight them on it because you're in a fucking mood.
Yeah.
Catch yourself. Don't be a drain on somebody else. You wouldn't want it on you, so don't put it on other people.
Yeah.
Do unto others. Yeah. Really makes me mad. Honestly. Because I do notice it, but it's because I'm noticing it so much more at the moment. Because it's fucking everywhere. Like,
I don't get, like, it's obviously, I only train at BCB, and that, like, doesn't really happen. Like, people chat and interact and stuff like that, but...
There was somebody at yours who did it really.
There's never going to be, like...
There was somebody, when I was on yours and I needed to get on something, and they were on their phone in between sets, and I was really polite because I was at your gym. If I was anywhere else, I'd have gone over and been like, how much you got left?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Because they were literally taking the piss.
Oh, really?
It was that thing where the weight goes down almost too fast so they could get to the phone after the set. And I was just like, because I was in a flow.
Yeah.
And I was like, now you're in my way. You're not, if you're working, you're in my way.
Yeah.
All power to you.
Yeah.
I'll go do something else.
That's fine, yeah.
But if you're in my way fucking around, I start to bubble.
The only people I've seen that are like that are like the young kids that are in that, like, I say kids like 18, 19. Like, I don't know whether that's maybe like.
It was the type of human they were because they were doing bullshit movements as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it was just a bullshit person.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
You bullshit.
You bullshitter. Don't be a bullshitter. We had, I think, we're kind of pushing the edges. There was one thing I wanted to do.
I've got a good one to kind of just wrap up on. So the guy who messaged us the other week about moving to Australia and he's lost a load of weight. So he's messaged again, and thank you for messaging, because I specifically said, because he didn't leave questions before, because he was always like, he felt like he didn't have anything worth saying, and I was like, no, fucking make the effort. Like, that's what keeps us going. Yeah. So thank you for messaging us. And he said, all move to Oz. Any advice on making the most of every day and avoiding homesickness? So I think with the homesickness, like, there's several things. Keeping active, keeping busy is going to be a major one.
The more people you meet, the less you'll miss home. The only time you're going to miss home is if you're feeling lonely.
Yeah.
And you have the habit of having that certain person you'll be able to go to break the loneliness.
Yeah. I think,
put yourself out there.
Yeah, put yourself out there. Like, try and interact with new people. Like, you've got a fucking blank slate here. You could go there and tell everyone your name's fucking Jim Bob, and you're like, I don't know, you could literally make up
your advice is to lie to people.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted to do, because there is no reference point.
Fresh start for you.
You can just have a real clean slate.
Yeah.
And if you want to reinvent yourself as someone bolder and more outgoing, don't get me wrong, it's not exactly going to be easy just to transform and be a different person.
No.
But no one has any reference point for you.
Fake it to make it.
Yeah. So if you're going to do it now. and it'll only kind of empower you going forward. Spend some time still enjoying some of the things that you kind of had at home, whether that be talking to your parents on Skype or Zoom or whatever it is. Still make that time for them and you know, interact with them, so you don't feel like there's that much distance. Things like, you know, listening to the podcast, if like our podcast, if that's something that you used to do, which I know it is, carry on doing that. It doesn't matter what country you're in, you can still kind of hear some British accents talking a load of bollocks. And I don't know, I think that the keeping busy is a major one.
Fair play to you, dude. You've shifted your whole life to a whole nother country around the globe. Yeah. I'm jealous of you.
Yeah, I
Jealous
think
of
it's a awesome
jealous.
fucking move.
Yeah, honestly, I've contemplated it many times, and given the opportunity, if it all tied together, I would in a heartbeat. I think and this is a real opportunity. And from what I've had experience-wise in Australia,
I'd love to go to Australia.
They're great people. Yeah. And you've never had a more active society to jump yourself into. Yeah. Those motherfuckers are up at 4 and 5 a.m. in the morning. Like when I went to stay with Nathan, we got to the gym. We were getting to the gym at like 6:30. Yeah. And I was like, beating the world. Nope. There were just people strolling around who'd started their day at 4:30. Yeah. And that is common in Australia because they will start really early, but they finish at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Because it's so fucking hot.
And just they've got it nailed because they finish at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. They go home, have like these barbecues, pub, whatever the fuck they want to do, all this social time, and then hit the hay at like 10 p.m. Yeah. And then up for 4, 5, and do it again. It's a fucking brilliant strategy. Yeah. Because they get to enjoy that afternoon of sunshine and time. Yeah. It's really good. So you've never had a great opportunity to
like
to rock and roll.
I only met him in Manchester. He was fucking sound.
He messaged me saying he's over in the UK. I think in June or July. So
you get him on?
Yeah, I've already said he's going to come and stay here. I think so. We'll get him on.
Nathan was sick. I remember,
genuine human.
Yeah,
really genuine.
When that was Manchester, Gymshark Manchester event.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
And because I ended up going out for food with everybody else and talking to Nathan, because I didn't know him. I'd never seen his content up until that point. And then I was wondering, like, because he did a lot of public speaking stuff there, he like kind of, I don't know, he was like almost an announcer for it. And I said, like, where did you get like that good at the public speaking side of things? He was like, it just kind of happened. Yeah. And I've never, like, I thought that was like his thing beforehand, but they kind of just like dropped it on him and he just did it. Yeah. And like, fair play. He made it seem like that was his fucking day job.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's one of his big things.
Also, really jacked and really athletic.
Yeah, scary.
And very fashionable as well.
He went from fashion into fitness.
That was it. And I remember him talking about all of his gay followers as well.
Oh, he crushes the gay followers.
Yeah, yeah.
And rightly so.
Yeah, I'd fuck him.
Yeah, good looking lad. His missus is lovely as well. Yeah, really nice couple. But yeah, you've never had a better time being in Australia to kickstart an early, taking advantage of the day, and that is what you need to be doing: is getting up early and getting out into that weather. I know at the moment it's raining a lot over there, but trust me, rain in Australia is better than rain in England.
One of our members brought her sister over to the gym for a day pass the other day. She lives in Australia, and I said, "Oh, what's it like with the British weather?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's flooded everywhere at the moment, so it's actually quite good."
It's been abnormally rainy over there this year, like ridiculous. They don't know why. Just like, really, they're not used to it as well. So it's like probably putting everyone out. Is that it?
I think we're done.
Holy crap! Oh, there was one thing I wanted to say. Have you felt tired this week?
Today, especially, I've been fucked, mate.
Do you know why? That moon is in a phase again. Yeah. Every time I put out on social media where I've had these abnormally like, fuck, I'm wrecked, and I shouldn't be. Like the other day I was up early doing all the car maintenance stuff, real productive morning, like hours of finicky work. I got it all done, and I was just like fucking struggling to keep my eyes open. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I got to bed by like 11. I was asleep. Last night, in bed by 11. Fuck, I woke up like 5 times during the night. I woke up at 5:15 and genuinely contemplated just getting up. Yeah. Because I was like, this is ridiculous. I was just awake and I was like, no, you can't, 'cause you'll be wrecked by the time the podcast comes on. And then my witches and wizards who were all following me always messaging me going, yeah, the moon's in a phase.
Right.
So, hey, Elon, before we go to Mars, can we sort out the moody moon, please? Yeah. Because whenever it's in one of these phases, I'm never aware of it and I just get knackered. And everyone's like, yep, I've been tired all week.
I have.
So if you've been tired last week, the moon was in a phase. Right. So no more excuses now. We're back on track.
Yeah, fucking hopefully. Yeah, today's really caught up. In the last 2 weeks, like I've literally been like 6 a.m. starts till like 9 o'clock at night. The one day I had off was Friday, which is when I was still up at 6 a.m. to train to get here before we went to the cinema. And then we didn't get to bed till fucking 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it was a good day, though.
My one day off, I was even more fucked than normal.
Yeah.
But, and it's proper caught up with me. Like, I'm feeling it, mate. But that's what Red Bull's for.
Moody moon. It was a moody moon.
Yeah. And the moody moon.
Honestly, it's happened so many times now where I've put it up randomly and everyone's like, oh, it's in this phase, it's in that phase. And it's every time it's this moon thing. So there is a, and I mean, of course there's a thing to it. It dictates our tidal timings of the fucking ocean. And you think it doesn't have an effect on us? Of course it fucking does.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, there you go. There's, if you were feeling wrecked last week, the moon is no longer moody now, so we should all be feeling better. And the weather is mighty fine.
I'm
been
fucking
mad
sweating. I'm sat here sweating.
20 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it. Get outside, get up early, get outside, get your feet on the earth, get that 10, 20 minutes of sunshine in the morning, set that circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
I wanted to say cardiac then because we talked about heart so much. Set the circadian. Honestly, it makes a massive difference. The few days I wasn't able to get outside in the morning because it did rain, it actually affected my sleep that night. Every time I'm out in the morning with the sun on my skin, sun in my eyes for just 10, 15 minutes, I sleep better that evening. So really make an effort to get that done. And as we always say, leave behind the shit that was not good. Leave it in the week gone. Bring forward the good. Have a great fucking week.
Toodle pip.
Toodle pip.